Huh? Number is growing. Recording started. Okay.
Okay. I think we'll start.
Can you just wait for? Yeah, it's already started. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to all the BITS aspirants and their parents joining us today for this BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy Admissions 2025 webinar. It's my honor to introduce you to all the panelists that are joining us today. From BITS side, we have Professor Sudhir Kumar Barai, Director of BITS Pilani Campus. Professor Ajit Pratap Singh, University-wide Dean of Admissions and Student Financial Aid. Dr. Nan, the System Administrator from Admissions Team. And myself, Siddhi Sharma, Deputy Manager, BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy. From RMIT University, Australia, we are joined by Mr. Abhijit Mani, Associate Director, Program Lifecycle and Governance. Ms. Boogie Belson, Principal Advisor. Ms. Bella, Administration Officer, Ms. Swapna, Manager, International Partnerships, and Ms. Supriya, Country Advisor. We encourage all the participants to post their questions in the chat box, which is there throughout the session. We will take up all those questions towards the end of the second half of the session, and we'll try to answer as many as possible queries that you have. We'll begin with a brief presentation on the program structure and admission process, and then we'll have an open Q&A session to address your queries. I'll now invite Professor S.K. Barai to welcome our audience and give a brief overview of the partnership. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Siddhi. A very good afternoon to all of you. It's always a pleasure to be part of the BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy's post-information session for academic year 2025. Heartiest congratulations to those students who have cleared the BITSAT examination, got an invite to join today's our information session, along with the parents. It's wonderful to be here on this occasion. I just want to convey that the BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy was established in 2023, last year, 2 years back. And happy to say that this is a first of its kind international program which has been set up on a scalable model of a 2+2, which is something where the two premier institutes of India and Australia joining hands together. BITS Pilani, the #1 institute in the country as in private sector. Also, the RMIT, the most leading institution in the Australia, which has joined hands together. And you will be listening about the various programs which are available under this academy. There are 5 programs. I'm very happy to say that since we started this program of 2+2, the first cohort, 90+ students, are now going to be entering into their third year and moving to RMIT Australia. And the second cohort of 110+ students who have been part of this journey. Exciting time ahead for all of us here. And I'm very happy that all of you have joined for this information session, which will clear up many of the doubts which are there in your mind. But I must give you one assurance to all of you that the success of our first cohort's mobility, which is going to happen very soon, that is an indicator that almost 99% students, you can say, are moving to the program to the next level, where they will be going to RMIT Australia. For the just benefit of all the students and the parents, I want to just give you the highlighting features from my side. The details will definitely follow in the detailed presentation. First of all, as I said, the biggest brand in the academic world, BITS and RMIT, that's the #1 thing. The brand is associated with each other, which has been a part of it. So the legacy with which the potential student who will be joining, this is wonderful. Second thing, the learning experience at the both leading institution is going to give you a very different flavor, one in Indian context and another in Australian context. So this is something which is a very unique feature of this 2+2 program. The third one is that in a typical 4-year on-campus program where the students get a chance to have international exposure, sometimes maybe in a 3rd year or 4th year, here the students would be moving in a 3rd year itself to the Australia, and where I think they would be spending a full time of 2 years in Australia. That itself is a very good experience to have an international experience. The fourth one, which is I'm sure the question which bothers everybody, that's the employability. So I think I can give an assurance that the BITS Pilani and RMIT both has the tag of the most employable campus in India as well as in Australia. So I think this is something where the students have an opportunity. The outcome at the end of the program is going to be very fruitful. Number 5 is that it also provides you a platform for the future international experiences. You want to venture into the research segment. So your studies in RMIT would give you the experiences of exploring the other horizons of higher studies. The 6th one is that, of course, it's a multi-cultural experience which you would be able to get it. When you are in India, you would be experiencing it BITS Pilani in the initial 2 years, a more Indianized version of the experiences, which will be pan-India in more or less. But when you move to RMIT, you will be having the multinational, multicultural experiences at RMIT. So this is something which is, again, the next level of an experience would be there. And the parents, the last one point which I would like to highlight, that I think this is a program where the initial 2 years when they would be in BITS, you need not worry about their transition part, because they would be smoothly moving from India to Australia. So by then, I think some children might be below 18 also sometimes, so parents might have some worries. So that need not to worry, because maybe by the time he becomes an adult or she becomes adult, she is already ready for moving to travel to abroad without any hesitation. So I think it's a wonderful occasion, that it's a point where one of the best experience you will get, and best of the 2 worlds which gets connected under the BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy program. So I think in the line of a national education policy, internationalizations, Ministry of Educations on both the sides has been strongly encouraging this particular program. And I'm sure the webinar which will follow now with the presentation from the BITS as well as from RMIT would give you detailed overview about what is the road ahead. And I will encourage all the parents and the students to pose any questions you have in Q&A sessions, so that you will get the clarity, so that there are no elements of doubt. But once again, I reiterate and give an assurance that this particular program, where we have the success always ahead than us. So I think I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining for this interaction session. Siddhi?
Yeah. Over to you, Abhijit, for sharing about the program, the admission process and the eligibility criteria.
Thanks, Siddhi. Just confirming that everyone can see my slides. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you, Professor Barai. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, Professor Singh, and to all my colleagues here. There's not much more that I can share about the BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy that Professor Barai hasn't already told us. It is a wonderful opportunity for students to get dual degrees from 2 leading institutions, both BITS Pilani and RMIT. So you will graduate with 2 engineering degrees, one from BITS Pilani and one from RMIT University. And as Professor Barai mentioned, the global multicultural experience that you get, both studying in India, but also then coming across for the last 2 years and studying in Melbourne, which is frequently voted as one of the best cities in the world, and is also the sporting capital of Australia. Some of the other wonderful features of this opportunity is that all our degrees at RMIT University and that are part of the BITS-RMIT Academy are fully accredited with Engineers Australia. And what that means is that you can take your degree from BITS-RMIT Academy across to any part of the world, and it will be recognized. We're both partners of the Washington Accord, which means that our engineering degrees and the dual degree is recognized internationally. So it means that wherever you look for your work and your job opportunities and career opportunities, these degrees will be fully recognized. The other opportunity, of course, is that while you're studying your first 2 years at BITS Pilani, you will get the opportunity to engage with RMIT University and a few of our courses. And once you get that experience, you will then come across in years 3 and 4. So it's a wonderful introduction into a different curriculum and a different engineering degree while you're still studying at BITS Pilani. I will hand over now to Professor Singh to just talk about the programs that we're currently offering to the BITS-RMIT through the BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy. We work across 3 campuses at Pilani, Hyderabad, and Goa. Over to you, Professor Singh.
Thank you, Avi, and all panelists. Professor Barai has already explained about the details, some overview of complete academy programs. Here I am going to discuss about how this whole program was designed. So as Professor Barai was mentioning that we have seen the best of both universities, and based on that actually we have identified 5 programs which is going to be offered in the academic year 25-26. And when we have designed these programs, we have seen that the best part of BITS, like modular structure, flexibility, options of electives, core courses, industrial experience, are those things should be also available in this particular program, which is called BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy programs. So we are going to offer 5 programs: BE Civil, BE Mechanical, BE Electronics and Communication, BE Electrical and Electronics, and BE Computer Science. These 5 programs, when students are going to get admission, our partner university, that is RMIT, is going to offer Bachelor of Engineering Civil and Infrastructure Honors. Similarly, for BE Mechanical, Bachelor of Engineering Mechanical Engineering Honors. And with respect to BE Electronics and Communication, we are going to offer Bachelor of Engineering Electronics and Computer Systems. And BE Electrical and Electronics is equivalent to Bachelors of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, and last one, BE Computer Science, is equivalent to Bachelor of Engineering, Software Engineering Honors. So what we have seen, as Avi was mentioning, that because BITS is going to award a degree for you, 4-year degree, and in the similar way, RMIT is also going to give you a degree of 4 years. So we have seen what is the requirement of BITS Pilani coursework, and in the same way, what is the entire coursework requirement for RMIT University. So based on that, then we mapped, complete articulation was done, and then so that the complete requirements of both universities can be fulfilled, and that is how these whole courses are designed. And so Pilani, we are going to offer 2 programs, BE Civil and BE Mechanical. At Hyderabad, we are going to offer BE Electronics and Communication and BE Electrical and Electronics. And at Goa, we are going to offer BE Computer Science. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So if you see the overall structure, as I said, that whatever best of BITS is there, like broad-based foundation, in which science foundation, mathematics foundation, engineering foundation, technical arts, engineering science, then mathematics, professional courses, core discipline and elective, few basic initial core discipline and elective courses is going to be offered in second year. Future technology, skilled oriented courses is also going to be offered. And in 3rd year and 4th year, the discipline core and elective courses are going to be offered at RMIT University. Again, here one best part of this collaboration under BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy is that from day one, actually, RMIT professors are going to be associated with BITS and they are going to teach. So every semester, when students are going to be in first 2 years, one course every semester is going to be taught by RMIT professors. They are going to also visit BITS. In the same way, so and these courses, when we have mapped, these courses are going to be credited to RMIT University. And in the same way, whatever coursework you are going to do at RMIT, those courses are going to be credited and graded at BITS Pilani. So that is how this whole structure is there. And can you go to the next slide, please? So based on this, the fee structure you can see here, that first, so semester-wise fee structure you can see. First year, you can see in Indian rupees about 21,000 tuition fees there in first year, first semester. Similarly, in second semester also the same. And in second year, it is 4.42 lakh for second year. And again, because some of the important courses are also prescribed in summer term, so all students have to do 2 or 3 courses during summer term, and the summer term may be between the first year and second year, or a summer term maybe from second year to third year. It depends upon the program wise structure. So some of the students, like say B civil, B mechanical students, are going to do summer term in just after first year, whereas electrical electronics students are going to do in after second year summer term. So that is also one summer term is also going to be there. So for that also summer term fee is given here, which is about 35% of your tuition fees of semester fee. And in the same way, in year 3 and year 4, you can see here the Australian dollar fee is given based on 2025 rate, and all details are mentioned here. Yeah. So I think I can request Professor Mr. Avish to highlight more about this. Again, he will be discussing more about fee structure if you need more details about this. This is again, if you can see here, the fee structure at BITS, because BITS is going to provide you hostel and other facilities. So based on that, you are going to pay the hostel fees, like 32,700 is the first semester hostel fees. And in the same way, you have to pay for mess and advances, which may be about 4,000, 3,500 to 4,000 per month kind of things. But in advance, some fee is going to be asked, and then accordingly, it will be announced to you. But it is going to give you a rough idea that per year at BITS how much it is going to cost to you. And in the same way for Australia also, Mr. Avi is going to discuss more about it. Yeah, so this is about the same tuition fees which I was discussing. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so I invite again Mr. Ravi to highlight some of the important features of RMIT University here.
Thank you, Professor Singh. So as Professor Singh just talked about the fees, so the fees for the 2 years in Australia as you study with RMIT is listed there. So it's approximately 45,000 Australian dollars for year 3, for the entire year 3, and approximately another $45,000 for the entire of year 4. Now note that these are the 2025 tuition fees. So these are the fees as of now. And every year they go up by about 5-6% on average, but the maximum that we can increase is only 7.5% per year. So by the time you as a batch, so if you start in 2025, as you come across in 2027 for your year 3, the fees will be slightly higher. But something to also note is that RMIT offers the Future Leaders Scholarship, which is a 20% reduction or a 20% tuition fee reduction for our BITS-Pilani RMIT Higher Education Academy students as well. So whatever the final fee is in 2027, there is the RMIT Future Leaders scholarship as well. Just moving along. So at RMIT University, so we are based in Melbourne, and I will share a little bit about living and studying in Melbourne and in the city campus shortly. So RMIT University doesn't provide accommodation. So as Professor Singh mentioned that for BITS-Pilani, there are hostel fees and mess fees and so on. So RMIT University doesn't provide student accommodation. So most of our students seek their own accommodation and organize their own accommodation. And there's a few options that are available. There is purpose-built student accommodation, which is usually near the campus in the city. So these are private companies who have built accommodation for students. And usually the student enters into an agreement with that private company. It's separate to RMIT, but they are very conveniently located across the campus. So they're just across the road in some instances, or maybe just half a kilometer down the road, very easy to get to. And they usually provide all services in one, which is your room, your electricity, internet, so on, and all the other services that you need. There are short-term hostels available as well, which is similar to what you get in India. But again, this is off campus. It's not managed by RMIT. They're managed by private providers. The majority of our students, and when I say majority, I mean over 90%, they stay in shared houses, which is you and some of your friends or colleagues get together and you rent a house somewhere in Melbourne. So it's usually a 2 or 3 bedroom house or an apartment. And then you split the costs and you share the accommodation and you share the living and living expenses, so on. So most of our students, both local Australian students and also all our international students, usually go with shared houses. If you're not sure, you can always seek help within the university. We do have some services to assist you in finding accommodation as well. But as you will make friends in your first year with other fellow BITS-RMIT Academy students, you will usually have a group that you can then find shared accommodation in Melbourne, and that works pretty quickly. So I'm sure you will get to meet the next batch of students as they come to Melbourne as well, and you'll hear more from them, and they will definitely share tips and tricks on how you can find accommodation. Transport options in Melbourne. So Melbourne has a vast transport network. So we've got a tram network. We have one of the only large tram networks in Australia. We have a train network, which is pretty significant, and we also have a bus network. The majority of the engineering studies will be completed at the city campus, with some lab work done in a campus in a suburb called Bundoora, which is about 15 kilometers away from this main city campus. Now, the reason we've shown you a map of Melbourne, so that little map, that's the traffic map of Melbourne, so to speak, it's from Google Maps, is to kind of show you that this little square box that you see in the center, where you can just see the RMIT dot, or the red dot, which is RMIT campus, that's what we call Melbourne CBD, or it's the city business district, which is where the city campus is. And like any big city in the world, the closer you live to the city, the more expensive it gets. So basically, if you live closer to the city, it's very convenient to get to your classes, lots of shopping options, lots of eating options, lots of sports and other entertainment like the cricket at the MCG. But obviously that comes at a cost. It's very easy to get around to, but it comes at a cost. Most of our students live a little away from the city because the accommodation is a lot cheaper. And usually you can get to the city pretty quickly via train, tram, or bus. So the weekly cost of living. So if you, as I mentioned, if you live in the city, it's a bit more expensive, but it is more convenient. So it saves you time in traveling. You don't have to worry about which bus or which train or which tram to take. You can just walk down to the city campus and attend your classes. So weekly rent in the city is about $300 to $500, which is on the expensive side for a single person. But then if you move out into the suburbs, for example, Bundoora or Brunswick, which are about 10 to 15 kilometers away from the city, it drops down to $150 or even $120 per week. Electricity, gas, and water, which are your kind of utilities, they're the same no matter where you live, and they vary between $10 to $25 a week, obviously depending upon how you use it. So if you use more heating and more air conditioning, you'll have a higher bill. Food, again, depends on how you'd like to eat and whether you go out to restaurants every day or you're going to cook some food at home. But we usually budget between $80 and $150. There are supermarkets everywhere. There's even vegetable markets around the city campus. So if you are interested in cooking, there's lots of options that are nearby. Phone and internet is about $15 to $30 a week. Again, it will depend upon the services that you get. We have some companies that are on the expensive end, which will charge more, but some companies that are on the cheaper end, but their service may not be as reliable. Your public transport, you can get tickets for your public transport in a weekly or a monthly fashion. You do get student discounts for being a student studying full-time. But again, this will depend on where you live and how far you have to travel to get to campus. I would budget about $50 per week for public transport if you are using it. And then, of course, entertainment. I shouldn't put this on the slides if parents are watching, but depending upon what you do, whether it's a movie or you go to watch a game of cricket, it can be anywhere between $30 to $100. We now get to the entry requirements for both programs, for the dual degree programs. And I'll call out to Professor Singh to just briefly tell us about the eligibility requirement for admission to the BITS-Pilani engineering degrees.
Yeah. Thank you, Avi. So, as far as this eligibility requirement is concerned, as we discussed earlier, that you are going to be eligible if you are going to write BITS-RMIT. That is the first condition. That currently we are admitting students in this particular academy, BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy, through BITS-RMIT. So every students have to write BITS-RMIT. That is first requirement. The second requirement is that students have to fulfill the basic eligibility requirement of both the universities. So that is, say, BITS Pilani basic eligibility, that a student must have physics, chemistry, mathematics, PCM, aggregate percentage 75%, and in each subject, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, they should not have less than 60%. So this is the basic eligibility requirement. And of course, based on this, then students have written. So session 1 of BITS-RMIT is over, session 2 of BITS-RMIT is now going on. And based on your application already, so you have to apply. So after writing BITS-RMIT, you have to apply for first degree admissions with the preferences, whether you are interested in BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy or not. If you are interested, so in the application portal, you will see, once you will click it that you are interested, then in that portal you will see that there are 5 programs available: be civil, be chemical, be mechanical, be electrical electronic, be electronics and communication, and be computer science. So based on your preferences, you can give preferences of all programs or all 5 programs, or you can give a preference of 2 programs, 3 programs, 5 programs. So that is the choice you can give. Once you will be giving these preferences, of course, more eligible as far as RMIT requirement eligibility is concerned, Avi is going to mention more about it. But except English test requirement, I think most of the things, if you are fulfilling BITS Pilani requirement, then automatically you are going to fulfill RMIT requirements. But Avi is going to talk more about it. As far as this, once you are applied for different preferences, then we are going to arrange the score of all the applicants, and in the, say, descending order, and then we will be seeing how many seats are available in respective programs, and based on that we are going to offer those programs. And of course, I was seeing in the question answer things which we will address further, but somebody was asking about the cutoff scores. So this cutoff is going to depend. So as you know that the cutoff is very much related to the performance of students in a particular academic year. So if suppose the BITS-RMIT question paper is going to be tougher, then the cutoff may go down. If question paper is moderate, then so it depends. So what is the performance of the overall students participated in BITS-RMIT? So exactly telling the cutoff is going to be difficult, but you can get some idea that maybe if you are going to score, say, 200 or so plus score, then definitely you will get some of the one of the programs under this academy. But how, what is the actual cutoff, that we can't predict now, because it is going to depend upon how many students are going to show interest in this. And I can tell you only here that this program is very, very popular now, and it is very well known in the country. So students are going to apply, but my request to you, all of you, is that all of you must apply in this particular program if you would like to do. As you are seeing that good amount of scholarship is being offered by RMIT University in 3rd year, 4th year, and the same program, say computer science or civil or mechanical, those programs, if you are not getting in our regular program, chances are that in this particular program you are going to get. So that thing I can tell. And I think apart from that, then once you are going to apply and merit list is prepared, then the results are going to be announced. The complete calendar is available on the website, The first list we are going to announce on 11th July, which more details we will be discussing. I think now I will request Avi again to talk about more about this RMIT entry requirement so that we can proceed further. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Singh. So as Professor Singh mentioned, so the minimum entry for the eligibility through BITS-RMIT meets the RMIT minimum eligibility for academic entry as well. So our scores are listed there. So basically, if you've completed your 12th standard, we're looking at 65% if you've done CBSE or ISC, and then 70% if you've done state board. And across all three, you need a minimum of 60% in maths. So these are our minimum requirements, and you can see that if you're eligible through your BITS-RMIT, which is 75% marks, then you should be fine from the RMIT entry requirements at the academic level. The main extra step that we have for RMIT entry is to meet our English proficiency requirements. Now, because remember that as students of BITS-RMIT Higher Education Academy, you will be enrolling in the RMIT degree from day one, and you will complete one RMIT course every semester in your first 2 years, even when you're in India. And so because of that, you will be required to provide evidence of your English proficiency. You can do that three ways. If you've done ISC or Indian School Certificate exams, then if you get a score of 70% or above in your year 12 in English, then you will meet the entry requirement. Second option is if you achieve 75% in English in your CBSE 12th board exams. Now, if you don't have any of those, or if you've done your year 12 in a state board, then you must do an English language proficiency test such as IELTS or Pearson's or TOEFL and so on. So you have to do one of these proficiency tests if you don't have those scores. Now, if you've done ISC or CBSE 12th board exams and you've got 70% in ISC and 75% in CBSE, we also need one more document from you, which is your method of instruction. So from your school office, we will need a letter confirming that all your teaching and education in that school for your year 12 has been in English. Now, for everyone who has applied for a BITS-RMIT program, we will send you a template to make it easier for you. So you just need to get that template and that form signed by your school office, and that will be fine. So this is for students who are coming through CBSE or ISC and have got those grades in your English subject and are using that to meet your English proficiency. Everyone else, you must do the English language test. Now, the English language tests, these require you to book a test and a testing center. So we encourage you to book early because these testing centers will fill up pretty quickly. And it's important that if you want to find a testing center that's close to your home, that you book early enough. The minimum time that these test centers take to release results is at least 2 weeks. So the sooner you book it, the better. The sooner you're able to give that test, the better. One of the questions that's coming up is, when do you have to give these English language test results by? Now, before you start your studies, so before those final offers are released by Professor Singh's office, we need to evidence that you have met the English language requirements. So those dates are on the admissions calendar on the website, but we can reshare them after this. Effectively, before you commence your studies and before you get your full offer, you must have given us all your documentation, which is your year 12 results and your English proficiency test, if that's what you have had to do. Now, just a call out here as well. RMIT will reimburse 50% of your English proficiency test cost up to a maximum of 8,500 rupees for any candidates who have to provide an English proficiency test and receive an offer and enroll and start the program with us. So just remember that we do offer a 50% reimbursement, but that's only if you give the test, receive an offer with us, and enroll successfully and start your studies in the program. So again, I recommend that you book your testing center and you book your test date as soon as possible. If you've already got your year 12 sub scores and you've got 70% in ISC or 75% in CBSE, then you don't need to give the English language test. You should be fine. You just need to give the method of instruction letter. And for everyone registered in today's session, but who have also already applied, we will send you a copy of the template so that you can use that and approach your school office. How to apply? Professor Singh has shared some information already. All applications are through the BITS-RMIT exam. So you have to sit the BITS-RMIT exam and then declare your preferences. And you can apply for one BITS-RMIT program, or you can choose all 5 if you want to. Once you've applied and you have selected a BITS-RMIT program, RMIT University will send you an email link asking you to confirm your application and also log in and provide the additional information. So the additional information is in 3 parts. Your high school transcript, so your results certificate from your year 12, when you have it. Your English language proficiency, so if you've had to give the English language test, you need to provide us with the results. The first step that we will also prompt you is a visa questionnaire for your travel in 2 years' time. So as you know, you will require a student visa to arrive in Australia in 2 years' time. And there are strict rules around this. So what we do is we ask you to fill in a visa questionnaire as part of your original application. So we can provide you guidance in case there are any visa issues or potential possible visa issues 2 years down the track. More information about this will be sent through to you once you apply through BITS-RMIT, and we will send that information to you via email. And as Professor Singh said, the iterations and the outcomes will be from the 11th of July onwards, and then will continue until the semester starts. So again, about the method of instruction statement. So if you have done CBSE or ISC and you've got the right scores, you don't need to do your English proficiency test. You can just give us a letter confirming that your method of instruction was in English. We will send you a template. Please have that template signed by your school office and return it to us via your application as soon as possible. I'll hand over now to Siddhi. We've reached the end of most of our information, and we can now go to answering questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhijit. So, to all the attendees here, please post your queries to the chat box which is there. We are looking at all the queries, picking up the questions there only. So, one of the frequently asked question is where the student wants to know how important is what is the status of computer engineering, EEE and ECE in RMIT University. They know they are certain about mechanical engineering, but they want to know the assurance for computer engineering, EEE and ECE.
Status of what?
About the program of computer engineering, EEE and ECE in RMIT. The status of that.
Yeah, so I think Avi will tell, but I think if you see already it is mentioned that when we have made the equivalency, currently 4-year programs of BE Computer Science is equivalent to BE Bachelor of Engineering Software Engineering at RMIT. So it is equivalent. So both the things have been mapped in such a way so that you are going to get a degree of BITS Pilani in BE Computer Science, and in the same way Bachelor of Engineering Software Engineering Honors degree from RMIT University. So in the similar way, so electronics, directly electronics, RMIT University is not offering, but they are offering Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, and BITS is going to give you the degree in Bachelor of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, or Bachelor of Electronics and Communication Engineering. So RMIT in the same equivalency is going to give you the degree Bachelor of Electronics and Computer Engineering rather than Electronics and Communication Engineering. So I think now it is the nomenclature which is slightly different, but the coursework, if you see, it is the same as what you talk about electronics engineering or computer science or electrical engineering or all those things. So it's a nomenclature only, and both are 4-year program. I think I was seeing one question where it was asking that same certificate you are going to give degree are different. So the certificate will be different. So BITS is going to give you the degree of 4 years separately. Convocation will be different for BITS. And in the same way for RMIT, convocation is going to be different. You are going to get a degree from there. So actually, both universities, it is the only coursework which we are going to consider and credit to each other. Otherwise, degree is going to be separate certificates.
Thank you, sir. So this answers the next question, which states that what will be mentioned on the final degree certificate on BITS and RMIT. So the sir's answer includes that as well. Another question is, how long can we stay in Australia after 4 years if they wish to work there, or if they wish to do some kind of internship there?
I can take that. So the current rules state that on completion of your degree study in RMIT for those 2 years, the student will be eligible to apply for a post-study work visa, which gives you temporary residency for up to 2 years at the very least. During this time, you will have full permission to work full time, work in companies. So it's not like you're doing part-time jobs. You can work properly for agencies. And then once you get your work experience, you will then be eligible to apply for permanent residency or other visa options. So most of our international students use this pathway for further study, further stay, further job opportunities. But it's important to remember that you have to keep across all the visa and immigration rules. These are the rules currently. Australia does need a lot of engineers and is looking to promote more engineers coming to Australia. But 2 years from now, these are the rules that you're going to have to navigate.
Thank you, Apajit. Many of the students, they want to know about the placement opportunities from both BITS and RMIT side at the end of 4 years.
Yeah, so we will tell you about placement opportunities at RMIT University. But if you see, because you are the students from day one for both universities, so what we have done here, that all students are eligible to participate in the placement interviews at BITS Pilani. So if you are suppose admitted at Hyderabad campus, you can participate in the placement interviews organized at Hyderabad campus, and the same for Pilani, Goa, and other campuses. In the the placement process at RMIT University is slightly different. I think Avi is going to address that thing in a better way.
So RMIT University, so we have multiple options. So most of our students do capstone projects in their final year. So in your year 4, all our engineering students do capstone projects with industry partners, meaning that we connect you with companies to then do your projects, and that's what your final year graduation is in most cases based on. And most of our students then continue working for these companies or find jobs through these companies. So RMIT doesn't offer campus placement like BITS Pilani, but we connect you with industry partners and companies that come and visit us for guest lectures, for projects, and other activities in your final year, so that most of the students finish their degree are being lined up for a successful career, but also jobs where possible. Our programs do have a very high graduate outcome rate, which means that most of our graduates have jobs when they graduate. We are one of the largest engineering schools in all of Australia. So when you come here and study with us, you will be one of 8,000 engineering students at RMIT University, which will be the largest cohort in most of Australia.
Yeah, can I just add one other thing, Abby? In terms of the internship and placements, most of our programs have got an optional space to do an elective course within their program while you're studying in Australia. And as part of that elective course, you can do a course called International Engineering Professional Experience. So that is a placement course. So if you're able to secure your placement, there is an opportunity to do that as part of your curriculum. So there's one option. And also there are options for students to do this, whether it's short-term or medium-term and long-term placements and jobs outside of the curriculum as well. So there are opportunities for you to engage and have industry-relevant experience within your curriculum, but also outside of your studies as well while you're studying.
So the next question is about the last date for submitting the English proficiency test.
So
you
go ahead.
go, Boogie, sorry.
Okay.
You go.
All right. So we've got two deadlines in our application. So one is for you to provide the visa questionnaire and also the secondary school certificates, and that's a hard deadline. So you need to have that provided by 6th of July, I think on the last slide. And however, if you have to do your English proficiency test, we understand that it will take a little while. So for that documentation, you have until 30th of July to provide your results. And one other thing to mention about your English proficiency test is that you also need to be mindful that when you sit for your examination, you may be required to have a ID, so such as passport. So you've got to make sure you check the required documentation with testing centers and make sure you have those documents available. We had instances in the past, the students registered for the examination and were not able to sit because they did not have their required documents as a proof of ID for the exam. And one other thing to mention is that whilst those students doing ISC and CBSE, for admissions purposes, they're not required to sit the English proficiency tests, but along future, when they transfer to Melbourne as international onshore students, you will be required to provide the proficiency test results to Australian government. So that's just additional thing to keep in mind as well.
So the people who are asking about the internship opportunities, the query regarding the placement, which is answered by Mr. Abhijit and Professor A.P. Singh, answers about the capstone project and the opportunity which is given in 3rd and 4th year. So this covers that. Next frequent question is computer science program accredited by Engineers Australia? Because in website it's given as not accredited yet.
No, all are accredited.
Now I can check that. So the Bachelor of Engineering, Software Engineering RMIT program, which the computer science students will do when they transfer to Melbourne, it is currently provisionally accredited by Engineers Australia. So usually the accreditation process is a 2-stage. Because this particular program we introduced to Melbourne campus fairly recently, we will go through the stages and then we'll be seeking the full accreditation in due course. So currently it's provisionally accredited. All other engineering programs are fully accredited.
Yes, thank you. Does the counseling happen parallel and independent for different 2+2 programs? Like, for example, for RMIT, computer science, is it happening separately or is one impacting the other?
Yes. So initially, so iterations for other 2+2 program is also going to be started more or less on the same date or one day before or one day after. So up to first iteration, definitely students can choose all programs, but as we move further, say second iteration, third iteration, by that time definitely they have to choose one of the programs. So because it is not that it is going to be injustice for other students who are going to be waiting for a particular programs, and if you are going to occupy the seats in all programs, then it is not justice for others. So that is why what we have done that on say July 11th or so, when we are going to announce or first iteration, maybe in other program also, depending on your preferences. If you have given preferences, offers may be made there also, but you will be asked to pay the fee and all, and after that you have to take a call whether you want to stay at BITS-RMIT or any other 2+2 programs.
Thank you, sir. So one of the questions says that they forgot to choose 2+2 in their preference form. What can they do now?
Yeah, so there will be an edit window from 3rd to 5th of July. That time you can change your preferences, and at that time actually you can edit your application form.
The students are asking if there is any minimum CGPA requirement in second year to move to RMIT.
Yeah, so yeah, you can take.
Because you already enrolled into RMIT programs from day one, there is no minimum requirement for CGPA to transfer to Melbourne, but there will be requirement for all students to make sure they have got satisfactory academic progress and have cleared all of their courses before they transfer to Melbourne.
Yeah, so basically it means that whatever the eligibility requirement to clear a course of BITS Pilani is there, that you have to clear, and once you clear it, then your smooth transitioning from BITS to RMIT is going to happen second year. But suppose if you are not clearing some of the courses of BITS Pilani, then definitely you can't move, so your semester may get delayed. So that is why whatever grades, minimum grades are required by BITS, you must earn those grades.
The next question is about the scholarship and loan facility. Scholarship question has already been covered, and they want to now know about the loan facility available at both the BITS and RMIT Institute.
So as far as BITS is concerned, students have been approaching last year also, and this year students, those who have been admitted, they are approaching to BITS Pilani admission office to get a certificate that they are getting admissions, and based on that, then so directly BITS is not arranging the loan, but there are many banks like ICICI Bank, State Bank of India, HDFC Bank. Those banks, because it's a BITS program, and if you will show the BITS offer letter, then they are giving the loan, and they are recognizing that. So many students in fact have taken a certificate from us, and then based on that they have got loan. As far as and they in fact take loan not only for these 2 years, but also those banks also give the loan for another 2 years also, because it is a recognized degree, and we certify that it's a university grant committee, UGC recognized, AICT recognized degree program. So banks are going to recognize, and based on that the loans are getting granted. Of course they will have some more check and balances depending upon your credit limits and other things, but students are availing this particular facility.
Will the first and second years, in the first and second year, will the courses be same as the regular degree program students?
Yes, so majority of the first year courses are going to be definitely same as our other regular students, except one, as I was mentioning. One course at every semester at BITS is going to be taught by RMIT University, and that is different from other regular students. Apart from that, other courses you are going to attend with the regular students. So you have to compete with all students, and based on that, so there is no, we are not going to distinguish you whether you are a RMIT, BITS RMIT students or regular students. So you have to attend the same professor, same class, same. Of course, other facilities definitely we are giving your mentorship. Every discipline is students are going to get a mentor who is going to monitor you time to time, progress you. So those things are separate, but coursework is going to be same. Your labs, tutorial, practicals, everything is going to be in the same class.
The next very frequent question is, what will happen if our visa gets rejected or there are XYZ reasons when we are not able to transfer to RMIT Melbourne after 2 years?
Yeah, so at that time we are going to see your merit list, BITSAT score, because it might be, suppose your BITSAT score is very high, the same branch you can get at BITS regular program or which you are taking here, say 2+2 program. So if it is matching, then you will be transferred. But of course, it is also going to be seen by a committee from both sides. So both BITS and RMIT should agree that whatever reason you are giving, it is justifiable. And if all those things is there, then there is some exit policy. There are different possibilities. One possibility is that you can complete 2 years degree at BITS and take the credit from this from BITS Pilani, and then you can get admission in some other university in India or abroad. Or so we will try. You if suppose the same BITSAT score is for that particular discipline in regular, then it might be possible that it can be transferred, but chances may be less, because if suppose your BITSAT score is not that high, then that is the case. But the very important point here is that the committee of both BITS and RMIT should agree that this exit policy is agreeable to both sides. Then only you are going to be there. And of course, the visa problem, I think we can highlight more on it. But if you will follow the practice, whatever best way it is there, you will not face much problem as far as visa is concerned. Yeah. But Avi, you can add if you want more.
I can add a few words.
Thanks, Boogie. Yeah.
From our first batch of students, for our students for their transfer to Melbourne campus, we engage education consultancy firm, and they counsel students and support them with their visa application process. So they work with students one-on-one and then help them to collect all required documents for their visa application. From our first batch of cohorts, for all students who submitted their visa applications, we've got 100% response rate.
Yeah,
so it's great outcome. So that's one thing that we would like to share with you, that there will be support, and provided that you collate and provide the required documents, the chances of the visa being rejected will be minimal.
So in fact, yeah, so all 90 students who were admitted, 91 students in 23-24, all of them have got visa actually. So that's very excellent news for all of us. Yeah.
One of the very frequent question from this is for RMIT admission side is if the student is fulfilling the criteria of CBSE 75% marks and also has got the English certificate from the school, do they still need to apply for passport at this point?
I think it's best to apply for the passport as soon as possible if you're intending to come through the BITS-RMIT program. This is mainly because there'll be a number of options that will come across over the 2 years where it helps to have the passport. And as Boogie shared, we have a team in India that helps with documentation and collecting all the information that's required for the visas and to guide you through that process. So the sooner you have your passport, obviously, the better. It's not required at the point of admission, but it is something that you should organize as quickly as possible. So it's just something that is good to have, but you don't have to rush into it if you've already got your other results and they're enough for you to meet the entry requirements.
Boogie, I think.
Yeah, Boogie you want to add something?
Oh no, sorry, no. That was just something flying.
One of the queries about, can they get any template for the letter from the like for the 12th certificate?
Yes, you will get it.
We will share that immediately after this. most schools will have a template that basically says that the teaching was in English. As long as it references that, that should be sufficient. But we will send you the exact wording, and then the schools can sign that off. We will send a template via email to everyone registered here after this.
So the students who are asking about the visa thing and the difficulties or the kind of guidance that we can get, I think, Boogie, can you please take them through the holistic approach that we have for guiding them or for hiring visa advice for the students?
I think they should not worry much about it. As Boogie has said, that the team is there who is working on that, and already we have results. So 100% visa people have got now. So they should not worry. Yeah,
I
please
can
go
add
ahead.
one thing here, sir, for clarity and for parents' reassurance. This agent that we've engaged with across the country, they have personally, staff have visited the Pilani as well as Hyderabad campus for the first cohort and actually provided overall webinar sessions for the students and also provided one-to-one consultation on campus as well. So even that level of engagement is available through the agent that we've engaged with. So parents can be reassured they will be provided the right advice and guidance. As we know, there's not a single negative outcome. All the visas submitted have had a positive outcome so far.
Thank you. I think we have answered most the major queries that we have received through the chats. And I think if there are any more specific queries related to a particular case, you can direct all those queries to this email address, and there's also a phone number which is mentioned on the BITS admission website. If you go to the international collaboration site, and then you can visit BITS-RMIT section, where in the brochure you'll get the contact email address as well as the phone number on which you can ask those specific queries.
And also, we have also listed a number of FAQs in the website. So those things also you can go through. I think you will get most of the details there also.
I think it's time that we conclude this webinar now. Thank you so much. Thank you to the participant, to all the aspirants who have joined this webinar with us. Thank you, RMIT side. Thank you, Prugi, Abhijit, Bella, Swapna, and Supriya for joining us and for giving these insights, valuable insights on the admission process and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone, and best of luck.
Best of luck. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
कितने बच्चे हैं?